Coach, just kind of what challenges are you most looking at with Vanderbilt and kind of some of the things they present for you and your team?
Playing really well. Their last two games have been on the road. They played great at Auburn, particularly in the first half. Started out 11-0. They shot 32 free throws at Auburn. Number 2 is the second most fouled player in the country, with the highest usage rate of any player in the league. So they put a lot of pressure on you, very complex offensively. They run more plays than any team in the league. 2 is the leader of that. But then they have 4 guys on their team that have attempted more threes in SEC play than any of our players. So throughout the layers of what they do from a complexity standpoint, you have to defend without fouling. Number 2 is averaging 8 free throw makes per game, and their team is 4th in the league in getting fouled. So we've got to do a good job of handling all of the layers of their offense, but defending without fouling.
And I know they shoot the 3 fairly well for the conference. Just what are some of the main things that they do well in that department? I know a lot of it is,
I think some of it is a byproduct of what 2 does. They have great weak side action. So wherever the ball is, there's something going on that requires your attention. But on the weak side, they're not just standing there. There's something else going on. And I think that when 2 doesn't take a shot, or there's not a shot taken at the rim, it's probably going to be a 3 that comes on the weak side. And so you have to handle both. You have to be able to guard the ball. You have to be able to guard multiple ball screens. But then you have to be aware of what's happening on the weak side so that you can contest those 3s.
How do you kind of ensure the last game wasn't just a one-off win and you kind of finished the regular season strong?
I hope so. We did a lot of good things. Some of the same things that we've done well in losses. But when you get to after Valentine's Day, I think so much of it is your energy. So much of it is your togetherness. So much of it is the competitive spirit that's required, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road. I don't think that there's any secrets at this level when you get to this time of the year. All the players know all the players. All the coaches know all of what coaches do. It's the execution of those things, but then it's also maybe the spirit in which you do those things. I thought our spirit was great from start to finish. I think we led nearly the whole game until right there at the end. And after having lost 8 in a row, I think the spirit that our guys showed to come back down 4 with Florida having the ball obviously was great.
Do you think the biggest components to your guys' wins are execution and then also bringing your own energy then?
I think what hurts us from an execution standpoint is defensively, we do not finish enough possessions with the rebound. If you were to boil it all down, that's the thing that hurts us the most. We're second in the league in offensive rebounding, which is real good. We create extra possessions, but we're last in the league in defensive rebounding. So we're giving up extra possessions to the opponent. Our first shot field goal percentage defense is extraordinarily good, but they're rebounding too many of those misses for our defensive numbers to show that.
And I know when you guys were trying to break that streak and find a win, you talked about kind of changing the lineup around and trying some different things. Were there any particular combinations or guys on the floor in this game against Florida that you liked that you saw that you might try to put out there more often?
I thought Dre was as good as he's been all year. He had 6 defensive rebounds. For something that is hurting us as much as that is, for a 6-foot guard to lead our team in defensive rebounds was extraordinary. I thought Boots was really good on the glass on both ends. His offensive rebound is what led to 4 being fouled at the end of the game. We need to be able to play guys defensively that can get a stop and a rebound. And so there was a lot of guys going in and out of the game, depending upon was it our ball or their ball. It's almost offense for defense. This possession, whose ball is it? Where is it? What can we do to get a stop and a rebound? What do we need to do to get a basket? And Dre's 6 defensive rebounds and 4 steals that's 10 possessions that we normally are not at that clip. That I thought was a game changer. So I don't know that it's necessarily who plays with who. It's their ball out of bounds. That's the first game in SEC play that we gave up 0 points on out of bounds defense. 0. At Auburn, we gave up 15. At Auburn, out of bounds only, Auburn scored 15. Texas A&M scored 2. Florida, out of bounds defense, Florida scored 0. We scored 9. That's a separator. On ATOs, coming out of an ATO, down back, no matter whose ball first. At Auburn, 15-2, Auburn's way, versus Florida, 15-15. Completely different. But it was subbed based on, is it their ball or our ball? And I think it's going to need to be that going forward.
Coach, yesterday the Board of Regents announced that the court was going to be named after Gary Blair. You're a big fan of Gary Blair. He's only the 3rd women's basketball coach to have their name on the court.
Yeah, Coach Summit, Coach Yao, and I don't know if gender specific it's appropriate to say, but what makes it even more unique, in my opinion, he's the first male coaching a female sport that it's happened to in the history of college basketball, right? I was a huge fan of Coach Summit. I went to her clinics. I wrote her letters when I was in college. Our dog is named Summit. Like, I'm a huge Pat Summit fan. But I'm just as big a fan of Coach Blair. And I think for the Board of Regents, for our administration, to do that while he's still here, I think it makes it even more special. I've only seen it happen twice in my life in coaching. I worked for Coach Orr at Navarro, and we made sure to get the name on his court. But that was 10 or 12 years after he retired. And then Coach Blair has the name on his court at Queens College in Charlotte. And I was a part of that, and that was 20 years after Coach left. So that I think that it's happening the last game that Coach Blair coaches here. I think that signifies even more to everyone, including Coach, of the impact that he's had.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.